Hi, this is Gia Marone, president of Women Grow, and welcome to our Women in Cannabis Business Holiday Showcase. I'm so excited for this next installment of this showcase highlighting women-owned businesses in the cannabis industry. We want to remind you to shop small, shop women-owned, shop diverse businesses this holiday season. I'm so excited to introduce our moderator, who is also our Director of Community Engagement, as well as our digital producer. She's the one that really makes it happen. All of these virtual events are done by this incredible woman. She's also the founder of the Cannadiva. And if you're not following them, you need to make sure that you do. I am so excited and so honored to introduce to you Tanya Osborne, whom she knew the assignment. And this is what I mean by that. We recently had a booth at CWCBE, and we wanted to invite women-owned businesses to join us at CWCBE. And we said, Tanya, we need you to help us to identify businesses to come and join us. And Tanya hand selected these businesses that you will be seeing here today. So we're so excited to have them join us. And we're so grateful to have Tanya moderate this incredible panel. Tanya, thank you very much for everything that you do. And we wish all of these incredible women business owners a successful holiday season. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're really excited to be here. My name is Tanya Osborne. I am the Director of Community Engagement and Digital Production here at Women Grow, but I also wear two hats. I am the founder of a digital community called the Cannadiva. Right now, we live on Instagram, but starting the new year, we are pivoting to a more inclusive site where we can actually have a lot more freedom to communicate and connect and build community. So definitely stay tuned. If you're not following the Cannadiva, make sure you do that. But one of the things that we do here at Women Grow, in addition to the Cannadiva, but primarily here at Women Grow, is really the backbone of the organization is to connect, educate, and support women-led businesses, women entrepreneurs in cannabis, women business leaders in cannabis, women advocates, diverse communities. So basically, that's what we do. In the fall of, actually not the fall, in November, CWCBE, which is a large trade show here in New York City, we were vending, we had a booth at this event. And realistically, we really wanted to just turn that booth over to the community. So most of the brands that you're going to meet today are local to the tri-state area. But they are national brands, meaning that you could access their products by visiting their websites, visiting their Instagram pages, and connecting with them. And that's really what we want you to do this holiday season and beyond, is to support women-led businesses, support diverse organizations, and we really want these organizations to thrive. So what we're going to do is we're going to do like a little round table of sorts. We're going to have each of the founders or CEOs come up, introduce themselves, talk about their businesses, and then we're going to circle back to actually like have a little conversation. What's really funny, and not funny, but great, is all of these women in some way, shape, or form are friends of mine. So I've been in this industry now since 2014. So it's been a while, and over time you make friends, and it's really fantastic to have watched a lot of these businesses grow from like inception. Like I remember some of these women when they just started talking about their brands. In fact, one of the women that are coming on the stage today, I met her at her first Women Grow event, like before she had a brand, before she had a business, like when she was just excited to come into a space of women like her. So it's really excited. So the first person we're going to bring up is Miriam Ferrer from Body Care Herbas. And we're just going to keep it rolling. And then when we come back, we'll come back together and have a conversation. So we're going to bring up Miriam. Let's get it started.
Hi, hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Tanya, and thank you, Women Grow, for having me here. Yes, I am the founder of Herbus Plant-Based Body Care. I'm a line of CBD and body care remedies based here in New York City, actually in West Harlem. I started out in 2016 with a little solve. This little guy, I love to garden and I started making products with CBD and with cannabis. And next thing you know, here I am, the founder of Herbus Plant Based Body Care. I've been doing this since 2016. I trademarked my business in 2019. I went online in 2020 and I opened up a bank account officially in 2021. So it's been a journey. I recently launched a 1,000 milligram CBD lotion, which I'm super proud because if you know me, I'm very planet first. And this is coming farm direct from an organic farm in upstate, which is where I get all of my products. You'll notice I try to do everything natural. Again, I'm trying to do this planet first sustainably out of West Harlem. I'm a native New Yorker. I'm a mom. I'm a first generation Dominican, and I came to all of this just kind of healing. I'm also a medical marijuana patient, and a lot of what my line is my own personal healing journey that I've kind of opened up the rituals I use. So when I say that I do CBD remedies and cannabis remedies and plant-based rituals, it's how I heal. I'm trying to do this 100% pharmaceutical free, and I want to bring as many people on board with me into this plant-based non-pharmaceutical journey. And if that means it's cannabis, it's CBD, it could be arnica, it could be lavender, it's everything and anything in the plant world. And herbs, as you can see right behind me, herbs. A funny story about my name, it kind of started as an idea, herb as body care. And here I am in business doing my herb as body care. Thank you again, Women Grow, Mia and Tanya, for having me here. And take it away, next super diva. Happy holidays, everyone.
Hello, everybody. My name is Amber Melendez. I am the CEO of Amagram Nutrient Company. I make soil amendments. Oh God, that looks horrible. I make soil amendments called Sloppy Toppy and Sloppy Buns. They are fortified with compost that we farm on my at home in my farm. We have rabbits and ducks, and we live a symbiotic relationship. We have a symbiotic relationship with everything that is on our farm and on our land. Um, I want to say my background. I started in construction, and I had some issues there. I was an activist, but also I've had some trauma. So within that, I decided to start taking control of my mental wellness and my mental health, and I got a cannabis card in the state of New Jersey. But within that, it became very difficult to sort of like afford it and deal with it. So I started learning how to garden, and I started learning how to grow it on my own. And in the process, I learned how to make a soil and how to really regeneratively farm cannabis and do it in a way where it doesn't it's not a pull on the planet, but it also makes things better, and it makes the planet better through mushrooms, fungi, flora, fauna, all of it. So my attempt is to foster human interconnectedness through growing of plant medicines and use a daily like maintenance of it, so when people experience that trauma, they can then move on and heal it and live a life of purpose. So that's what our company is about. It's family owned, women owned. My daughter does the animal husbandry. I do the plant management. My mother and my sister, they do the product. Um, we make products, that sort of put herbs and medicinal mushrooms and things in them and stuff like that for us to use and stuff. So, yeah, and I'm hoping that one day I can get more women to grow, and I'm hoping to be able to teach more women. So we have started, and we have a space to do that here in Queens. So I'm looking for more women to grow, and yeah, thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kimber Arezi. I am the owner of Chime and Chill. Like many of us who came into the cannabis space, I immediately went to Women Grow to find a place for community. And that relationship helped me actually develop and design my own line of CBD products. My oral solutions are all pre-metered, pre-dosed, and pre-measured because the biggest issue that I always had is that I never knew exactly what I was ingesting. So one of the things I wanted to do is bring something to market that would help me deal with a lot of my medical issues. I have an autoimmune condition. I have stress and depression and anxiety and a myriad of mental health issues like most of us are challenged with. But what I realized was that I was already utilizing cannabis in my everyday life, but I didn't seem to suffer from stress, anxiety, and all of those other issues when I was sitting at home holding a 1,000 milligram bottle. So my product is Chime and Chill. It's an oral solution that is pre-dosed, pre-metered, and pre-measured. The biggest change that I've made as my brand has evolved since I started in 2018 is that this year, for the first time, I will be offering additional cannabinoids. So our product is a 2-to-1 ratio of CBD in the morning and CBG to help people promote focus and well-being. But then at night, really helping people layer their cannabinoids by adding CBD and CBN into their cannabis diet that might already include THC. So my goal is to have a low price point item, something that is taste-free, but most importantly is nut-free. All of our products are coconut-free. They do not have MCT oil. They use safflower oil. As somebody with an autoimmune issue, that is always a big issue when I find products that are not nut-free, especially for many of us. I am a special needs mom. I do have a child who has nonverbal autism and epilepsy, so I cannot take the risk of creating anaphylaxis with any product, knowing that I have limited verbal language to work with. My product line does also include topicals that are also nut-free. And then for people who really don't like the pre-dose because they were concerned about how much plastic we might be using inefficiently when we're at home, the line does also include 1,000 milligram bottles that are 15 milliliters in size. So we're always trying to make sure that you can get the most amount of cannabinoids in the lowest volume of oil. Very excited to say that my website will be receiving an update over the weekend. Our CBD, CBG, and CBD CBN products will be listed. We just got them finished through manufacturing. So again, just want to thank you, Women Grow and the Canadiva, for having us today. And I want to thank all of the members of the community for all of the support that I've received along the way. My line is a little more in the infant stages than some of the other companies. And it's because of that support that I've been able to kind of get past my anxiety and find my Chime and Chill. Thanks for having me.
How about that hold music, guys? My name is Sarah Gluck. I am the founder of Cannabis. Cannabis is Mary Jane's alter ego. I kind of got tired of seeing tie-dye and pot leaves and cartoon characters on cannabis clothing. So I tried to create a line for that more sophisticated cannabis consumer that wants to showcase their love of the plant through clothing. So I'm going to spend most of the time showing off the clothing. My favorite is on my chest because I am a blunt person, and I hope you are too. If you're in the Northeast like me, it is beanie season. Got to protect the noggin. We also have dad hats and snapback hats with our little Hive logo. Then we also have hoodies. This is our But First Cannabis hoodie because, well, but first cannabis, and then we could do everything else. And then my favorite thing is this future cannabis millionaire mug in gold because we're going to make a lot of money in this industry. We might as well have a little fun. What else did I want to say? We're doing a buy one, get one 50% off for Women Grow with the coupon Women Grow until January 1st. So buy one of anything and get the second of anything half off. You can visit us at cannabis.com, which I know is a little hard to spell. So just go to www.maryjanesalterego.com and make sure you say hi to Ken. Thank you guys so much for being here. Happy holidays. And next lady.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Women Grow, for having me here today. It's really an honor. Happy holidays. My name's Emily. I'm the founder and CEO of LeafWell. LeafWell is a platform that set out to unlock the therapeutic potential of cannabis, and we're doing that by increasing access, research, and education as well. We have a platform that connects patients to licensed physicians in every state that it's legal to do so they can get certified easily, quickly, and affordably, get their medical card and access the medicine that they need. It's really a pleasure to be here with all the women. I'll tell you a little bit about our platform. This is available to anyone who's watching in a state where they can get a medical card via telemedicine. All you need to do is go to leafwell.com. That's leafwell.com, and we actually have a promotion for anybody who's tuned in. It's 20% off your medical card until the end of the year. The promo code is holiday 2021. That's holiday 2021. All you need to do is select your state, fill out an application online and you'll be connected to a licensed physician in minutes. It's as easy as that. We're also a platform that wants to provide really sort of credible, reliable information for people. We have over 600 articles and resources for patients. I know that more and more people are interested in incorporating cannabis into their health and wellness regime. They're interested in how cannabis can maybe help them. Well, our website is full of information on how it could potentially help you. Everything is referenced. We've got scientific studies. So please visit our site. And if you have any questions, you can contact us. There's a chat box on our site, or you can give us a call. We have a great team of representatives who are knowledgeable and able to help you. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm absolutely love doing what we're doing. I think it's wonderful that Women Grow are bringing women together, and I'm looking forward to the conversation after. Thanks.
Greetings, everyone. We're going to try this again. Hi, my name is Essie, and I am the founder owner of A Flower. A Flower promotes the infusion of cannabis and wellness through canna teas. I love to drink tea. I decided that I wanted to make my own tea line with full of flavor, you know? So I started my tea line because I had issues with fibroids and I was drinking a lot of red raspberry leaf, and I wanted to introduce that with a CBD relief. So I offered CBD tea bags here. I also do tea bar. I also offer infused agave, which I sweeten my teas with. I also provide CBD tea facials. And for the holidays, we're offering a cool gift box. I love canna tea gift box, which includes a tea bag of your choice, maybe CBD or flower, infused agave, a nice spoon to squeeze that herbal essence, in a cool, dope stash bag. You can follow us at aflower.com, or you can go to Steep Elevation and place the tea orders. And we're gonna give it up to the next lady. Thank you, Women's Grow.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for having me. My name is Ray from UniWe LLC. Today I'll be talking to you about our apparel company. We are a lifestyle apparel company founded in 2014, and we received our LLC in 2018. We are a brand that likes to promote the positive awareness for the cannabis community through our clothing. Our goal is to wear the message so that we can spark the conversation and guide change, changing the stigma of how people view everyone that consumes, supports, and or is a part of the cannabis community. We believe that we should have more women advocates and women in this business because it's a foothold for us. Right now, we are in a pivotal moment where this is a renaissance, and we should be able to take high control of that and be a part of that change. Too many times we're shut out of the conversation, so this is our chance to use our clothing to be the message, to step our feet into the door. Today I want to talk to you about a couple of items that we do have. We have our Uni Space socks. We have our beanies, keep your head warm for the winter time. Today alone, we have a flash sale going on our website. Go follow us and visit us at uniweeds.com. You can find us on Instagram. We have a couple of giveaways going on as well. Join us at Uniweeds LLC. Again, that's UniWe LLC on Instagram to join in on the fun, answer some questions, get on our giveaway. We also have a holiday promotion going on. Just check out our website and you'll see your promotion codes there so that you can get your 15% off. Thank you so much.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. We've got all the ladies in the house. I'm so excited to see some of you. I'm not some of you. I'm so excited to see all of you. Some of you I've just seen is what I wanted to say because I just spent Thanksgiving with Kimber, so that's what I meant. So, listen, and what's great about community, and I know you all know this, is sometimes community becomes family. And I feel that way about a lot of you. I think Miriam, I met literally in 2014. Um, at one of our first events at Women Grow, I was not the market leader, and she did not have Urbas yet. So I remember Kimber when she first came to her first meeting. I remember hearing about Amber and all the great things she was doing. I'm like, I gotta meet that woman because she's doing such amazing thing. I've known Uni and Ray for a while now. Sarah, I think you're the most recent person that I've met. I'm so glad that you're here. And Essie, you've been around for a minute too. You know,
Yeah.
I know, and because of our relationships with Women Grow's relationship with some of the registered organizations here, that's how we met Emily. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna keep her. I like her, and I'm gonna keep her. You know, so I'm so excited to see all of your faces. So what I really wanted to do here is thank you so much, A, for sharing your products, your services, a little background about what you do. I appreciate you all so much, not only for making the choice to enter this industry, which in and of itself is challenging, but kind of realistically, like forging your way in this space. And I know that it is ever evolving and ever changing. But I just want to commend you on your stickability with this because without it, man, it's going to be crazy. So, what I wanted to do today was really just kind of do like a little personal dive and as far as like what got you here, what keeps you here, and what words of wisdom you might want to share to the next generation of leaders. Because listen, I'm older in years now, and I need to make my fortune and be out, or at least, or at least, see some of you flourish, and then I gotta retire and get my tiny house somewhere. So let's start with Emily. So I know your business has been around for a minute. What brought you to cannabis?
Well, firstly, Tanya, I really love being on. This is the second webinar we've done, and it's always such a pleasure to speak with you, and you just do such an amazing job. So thank you. So we've been around for 2 years. And I've been working in the cannabis space since 2016. I started working with cannabis clinics in California, and I've had a very sort of personal mission or very personal passion towards health and wellness. In the last webinar we did, it was for breast cancer awareness, and I sort of shared that I had but I was diagnosed with breast cancer 11 years ago. So since then, I've been sort of very personally committed to exploring ways to optimize my health and really interested in that space. When I started working in with the cannabis clinics in California back in 2016, I was working directly with patients, and this industry has really been driven by patients. And I think once you start hearing about how it's helping people and giving people back their lives, it never gets old. It always is just incredible. How this plant is helping people. And so LeafWell came about from 2 years of working in the space, working with patients, seeing what this plant was doing, but also seeing the pain points that people were faced with. There are real struggles for people trying to navigate the space. There's loads of products out there. It's a minefield. This industry has had decades of demonization. There's misinformation, disinformation. So trying to navigate that and navigate trying to find good information. Certainly back then, it's definitely improved a lot. In recent years, it was a really big challenge for people. I think that is changing, but we're still at the very beginning, and this is what really excites me about cannabis. So yes, just to answer your question, LeafWell came about from that. We wanted to provide a solution for a problem that we saw. We wanted to increase access. We wanted to provide education and good, reliable information. And we're also really committed to research, because I think the biggest challenge that the industry is facing today is the lack of data and validation on how cannabis can help people and how cannabis can be more effectively used as a medicine. And so that's what we're doing at LeafWell. And can probably tell I'm quite excited about it. It definitely feels like we're involved at LeafWell in something that is far bigger than any of us individually. I may have gone off on a tangent, but did I answer your question?
No, it's totally fine. The A just means that you are passionate about your brand, and I am a big proponent for medical cannabis as well. That's what brought me to this industry, and making these relationships and meeting patients keeps me in this industry. And that's why the work that we do at Women Grow is so important. So thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for sharing your story. I appreciate that. Let's go to Am. Am, tell me. So what, I know you come from construction, now cannabis. That's a big step, but what brought you here and what keeps you here?
What brought me here, I want to say, and it's not the best thing, but it was trauma. Trauma brought me here. I was on a job site. I was an apprentice, and I was doing great in my career. I was lead apprentice, and I was moving on to my journeyman, and I was sexually harassed. And I found that after everything had happened, I just had started to spin out, and I started to it just started drinking and all kinds of behaviors that were just not healthy, and that didn't really support my relationships with the people in my family and my daughter, and it was just horrible. And I just remember making the decision to move over to plant medicine, and just because I was sick, I have celiac disease, I have no business drinking any kind of alcohol, really. Like, I was just I was going down a hole, and I was yelling at everybody. I was angry all the time, and I was not myself anymore. And when I started smoking cannabis, I started to kind of feel myself coming back. And of course, everybody thinks, well, yes, I'm gonna go to the dispensary and I'm gonna get some bud and I'm gonna be good and everything. And that was great, but it was very expensive, and so I began gardening, and I began learning about the plant and just all things. And I had started where I had done, like, I had gone into the technical piece, and I was going to do hydroponics and this and that and stuff. And I went to Vegas, and I had some golden goat, and it was grown organically and in soil, and you could taste it. I just knew that that's where, and I said, after that, I am going to grow my cannabis like this. And I started reading, and I started doing living soil, and then I took like a soil certification to try to, like, to learn how to test it and things. And in that whole process, I learned how to build my own soil, and I learned how to build and regenerate my soil, so I didn't have to spend so much money, because that's what the whole thing was. The whole thing was trying to save some money. But when you're growing when you're buying soil, it's heavy. So it's like $100 in soil and $200 in shipping. So I had to redo my soil. I had to make my amendments, and in that I discovered how beneficial what all of these different amendments are, what where you get sources of calcium and magnesium and and nitrogen and phosphorus. Like, I was looking for natural sources that I could take every day from my life, every day from my food, every day from. Then I discovered rabbits are the best animals to have. especially when you garden, whether it be in your cannabis or in your food. You compost that, and they are the gift that keeps on giving. So all I got to do is love on these animals and feed these animals, and they output, and we just get the fire. We just get the fire. So it was so good. I said, let me just bag this up and sell it. And I did. I started giving it to my grower friends, the guys, because there's a ton of men in this business. And the guys, they've always looked out for me. They've always, because I could kick it like that, and I could flip it like them. But they started using my product. They said, Amber, this is working. Like, this is great. And people started buying it, and then I started putting it in stores and grow stores and on the East Coast. So we're in New Jersey, Connecticut. We're in New York. We're in a couple of stores in New York. I'm hoping to move on to Vermont and Massachusetts this year. So we'll see.
That's so exciting. Listen, you are the prime example of necessity is the mother of invention. I don't want to buy it. I guess I should learn how to grow it. And now with New York's laws having changed and patients having the access to grow, just know that Women Grow is already partnered with Amber to do some grow classes in the future. So please hit her up, because we want you to purchase her soil enhancement, but we will be bringing Amber to you for some home grow classes for New York, because New Yorkers, I don't know about anybody else,
New York all day. New York all day.
New York all day, because patients can legally grow. So once you see Emily and you become a patient, then we can get you over to Ambra so you could start learning how to grow your cannabis at home. And then we can do another class with Miriam, who I'm going to bring up next. Miriam, again, I've known Miriam forever. Miriam did a fantastic class for us. It's still one of my favorite events that we did at Women Grow. It was at Comeback Daily in New York City. And basically Miriam came in with her plant medicine goddessness, and we had potions, lotions, and creams. Oh my. And we were basically showing people how to make their own CBD infused creams, lotions, salves. It was amazing. So you go grow your stuff with Amber, and then you bring it to Miriam so she could show you how to make infusions and all that wonderful stuff. So segueing to Miriam, my dear friend, tell us what brought you here. I mean, we kind of know, but tell us anyway, more importantly, what keeps you here?
I think it's that the healing part of this plant. I like you. I mean, I showed up at a Women Grow. My background is product and package design and branding. I used to work for Revlon, L'Oreal, Maybelline, all the big guns, designing products and packaging and point of sale and merchandising. So I used to do a lot of boxes for them. And around 2005, I got sick of making rich people richer and just filling up landfills. Like, I just got remorse, and I pulled back. I live in West Harlem, and my son was starting school, and I got involved in the community. I started gardening like a maniac with kids, because I realized there's kids in New York City who will spend their entire life and never touch soil. And I ended up with my line, interestingly enough, because I started gardening with kids. I put like rooftop gardens on a school, in parks, everywhere, in classrooms, got like grow lights for kids. And I started intentionally planting like anti-inflammatory plants. I had a friend who at the time had been diagnosed with spinal arthritis, and she was just taking way too many pills. And at this point, I was going to Women Grow regularly. I had been to Colorado, and I didn't quite know where I wanted to design. I wanted to join a cannabis company. And I think it was at an Alchemist Kitchen event. It was how to carboxynate cannabis. And this must have been in 2015, 2016. And oof, Pandora's box opened for me. Like I started making everything. I just started making stuff, and I started deliberately planting, burdock, lavender, chamomile, like everything that was anti-inflammatory and calming, and started making my own salves. And what's keeping me here is that I'm healing myself. Fast forward, I had a really bad car accident in the Dominican Republic in 1999. And I remember like the doctors literally giving me like a bottle of Oxy, like just bottles of pain medication. And I had to be on it for like 3 days in the Dominican Republic. And I became a different person. I was like, whoa, this is not okay. I got home, and I swear to God, I got a bud this big, like a whole bud this big. I got rid of the pills, and I just self-medicated for about 3 months, did physical therapy. My spine had kind of twisted. I had concussions. I was a mess, but I healed myself. And in hindsight, thank God, because I felt awful on prescription pills, and that's what keeps me here. Like I'm on a mission to get as many people off pills and back on plants, not just cannabis, but plants, like what Essie's doing, the teas, like what we're all doing. Like this is real. Like now I have spinal arthritis, and it's funny because I was at my doctor's yesterday, and let's talk about it. I have menopause, like it gets real. Like ladies, like shit gets real. Like we need to talk about this. And I'm having a very normal conversation with my doctor, and she's like, well, we could try this pill, that pill, and this hormone. And I'm like, absolutely not. I can't do pharmaceuticals. I can't do that. And I said, well, I'm trying this. And I think she hit the floor when I said, well, I tried yoni steaming and it was amazing. She's like, well, okay, and herbal, you're right. It's herbalists. Everyone should work with it. I got her convinced that, women should be working with herbalists in menopause, and doctors just don't know what they're talking about. So what keeps me here is that I'm my own guinea pig in Herbus. I'm literally experimenting on myself with everything before I launch it, before I do it, because I'm going to do this shit I'm going to age without pills. My parents, it's hard when you see your parents and your older folk like hooked on Advil, hooked on this, and you try to convince them to change, and you realize it's too late. And I'm just trying to make sure all my women folk and my posse stays off pills, because we just have to. We know better. We know better. So that's what keeps me here. My words of wisdom to women in this space coming into this. Learn how to breathe and meditate, because you're going to need all of that. And the cannabis is going to get you through it. Like, seriously, use your own products, because you're going to need it. You're going to need it.
Yes. It's so funny that you said that. We do need to have conversations about all phases in women's lives.
Oh my Lord.
I am also in menopause. Thank you so much. And it is life-changing, but I, like you, have opted to do none of the extracurricular stuff. I am plant medicine all the way. You know what I mean? So kudos there. And I love your products. So thank you for keep using yourself as a tester so that you can keep bringing us awesome products. And I volunteer to be a tester at any time you need an extracurricular one. I'm your girl. All right. So I want to introduce again the newest person to the Women Grow community is Sarah. So my question to you is, what brought you here? Because you're pretty, I mean, I haven't known you for very, very long, maybe a little over a year.
No.
Has it been longer?
No, shorter.
Shorter, right?
Yeah, because I just moved to New York in March-ish.
Oh, yeah. So I think we met at our the Cannabis event for Pride. That was the first time I remember connecting with you.
Yeah.
So so tell me how you got here and what keeps you here.
Yeah, so like a lot of other people, I joined the industry because the plant alleviated a real medical problem that I was having. Um, in 2017, I was graduating from my MBA at the University of Virginia, and there was a trip to Denver organized to visit a bunch of technology companies. At the time, I wanted to work for a fast $1 billion, tech, move fast and break things sort of company, but didn't want to live in San Francisco. So I said, oh, Denver, that seems nice. And when in Denver, when in Rome, you go to a dispensary. And I told the bud tender that, hey, I have this thing, it's called psoriatic arthritis. I'm in pain. Can you help me? And he gave me a snickerdoodle cookie, which was delicious. He gave me a salve and a transdermal patch. And I came back from that trip and told my career people, yeah, I'm going to join the cannabis industry. Like, this is real. I'm going to do it. And they're like, that's great. Have fun. Good luck. We can't help you. So I moved across the country without a job. I drove for Uber for a period of time, kind of just hustling until I found a few women in particular that wanted to take me under their wing and let me into this industry. Because it can be kind of exclusionary for, at least at the time, for people that have high degrees. Like, I understand that the legacy growers made this industry and they're protective of it, which I understand. You only want good people in it. I promise I am one of those. Yeah, had a few roles. I worked with the America Israel Cannabis Association as their chief operating officer, and then I was on the real estate side of things, managing a 500,000 square foot grow in Oakland, and then COVID happened, and I lost my full-time job, and kind of looked around at the market and saw that I really didn't like that stereotypes were still being played to, especially when it came to apparel. And like the other apparel company here today, like, we got to smash those stereotypes. So I went big into Ken Abbas. I made him up. I trademarked him. And I'm originally from Long Island, so moving back to New York after 4 years in Denver was coming home. And it's so exciting to be on the East Coast right now. Like, it's all happening in the East Coast. So yeah, I'm here for the medicine, and I'm here to smash those stereotypes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I will tell you, my first dispensary experience was in Colorado. And I remember walking out of the dispensary with my little bag, Native Roots. That was my first dispensary.
The one off of 16th Street? Like the one
There are a
downtown?
couple. I don't remember which one, but it was the
Me
one in
too.
downtown.
Because that was my first dispensary too.
And I remember coming
Mine
outside
too.
with the little bag, and I was like,
Dude.
waiting for somebody to be like, no, from New York, and my first introduction to those, I cannot wait for New York to expand on its medical program, because transdermal patches are life.
Yes.
Transdermal patches, if you don't know what they are, Google it. You wouldn't think that they work. They are amazing, So
then,
I see there's a trend. We all came, so far, most of us have come for the medicine. You come because you are a patient, you know a patient, and you know that this works. I love the term self-medicating, because honestly, that's what stuck me here, is learning that phrase that I can medicate myself. And I love our medical program to be able to do that. And also, Sarah, thank you for the stigma. I'm a Jamaican, and you don't know how much it annoys me to see Jamaican representation on cannabis, when I know that, yes, Bob Marley, but my family and a lot of Jamaicans are not really in favor of cannabis. I mean, minus education, there's some stuff happening in Jamaica now, thank God. So it is annoying for the stigma. So thank you for breaking the stigma for cannabis apparel. All right, so I want to ask now. Who else did I got? Sarah, I got Essie. Essie, talk to me. Tell me what brought you here. What keeps you here?
So, I had the basic 9 to 5. I was working at a media research company as a programmer for about 11 years. Um, what brought me to the cannabis industry, to tell you the truth, I was just looking for someone to bond over cannabis with. Like, drinking just wasn't the norm for me anymore. Like, smoking was where it's at for me. It was doing my body wonders. So I wanted to create a environment where, you know, people who were like low key smokers can be among other people like themselves. And within a year later, I decided to do teas because I'm always a tea drinker and I wanted to go the holistic way with issues with my fibroids. And I decided like CBD would be a great way to add to the teas. And the feeling of when people tell you, oh my God, like my period cramps have stopped, this works. And it just motivates me to do more and find other herbs that would help women with reproductive issues like myself. So that what keeps me here, the medicine. Just like Miriam, I'm for plant over medicine, going to the doctor and having a conversation about cannabis. Sometimes we bump heads, because they really don't know anything and they don't really support it as much in how passionate I am about it. So it's like I'm educating them. And my goal is to educate other people that, cannabis, weed is more than just smoking.
Absolutely. That is so true, Essie. What you said is so great. Different delivery methods. Smoking is not for everybody. Certain people want to drink a tea or eat an edible or have a lozenge or what have you. You could get your medicine in so many different ways. And I love tea. Again, Jamaican Brit girl, love me some tea. So and I love your product because you do go out and find the additional herbs. And I love that it's women focused because we have to take care of each other, right? We have to take care of each other. And if you have the skill set to design something that could help somebody and create a business around it, that's fantastic. I want to bring up Ray. Where are you, Ray? Tell me look, and I know your brand has been around for a minute. So tell me like what more about your brand and what keeps you in this industry?
So, first off, let me tell you some more about our brand. Our goal and our mission has always been to just shine a more positive light on cannabis community as a whole. Going back to Tanya, what you were just touching light on, especially being Caribbean, because I'm also of Jamaican descent. It's about changing the conversation, especially for us. We want to be able to take away negative connotation of how people view people who use as well as sell cannabis and in a more negative light. We want to just take that away and add them into the more positive arena, and that starts by having a conversation. So what we try to do is wear our message so that we can spark that conversation. It only takes a little bit for someone to read what is unique for us to say, okay, well, unique is you and I. We can change the stigma. You and I can change how we view things and how we approach the cannabis community. Touching bases on what everyone is saying, this is a product that can really revolutionize how we self-medicate, how we medicate others, and how we really just change our society away from being more prescription based to a more plant-based society. Because it's not just about consuming, you can wear it. They have hemp products that really, are revolutionizing how we impact our world, because we only have one. So our main goal is to just continue to push the conversation in a more positive direction and just wear our message so that we can spark that conversation to say, hey, it's not the same thing that you thought it was. Or, hey, you don't have to consume to be a part of. I've met so many wonderful people and so many amazing businesses, minorities, women owned, just everything that touched so many areas of cannabis that is ridiculous. A couple of months ago, we went to an expo and we met some people who have CBD bug spray. So it's just so many other avenues that you can just go into in order for you to just change how you feel about cannabis, change how you feel about the community. And we like to make sure that we spark that conversation.
Thank you so, so much. I really appreciate that. Yes, and I love the line. I did not know. Sorry about that. I love it even more now that you and I versus uni, because I know uni. I love it. I'm never gonna say uni again. You and I love it. I love it so much. And shout out to, people have an issue, or certain people have an issue about what we call legacy producers here in our state. Let's be real. Without legacy, where would we get our bud? Honestly, I mean, we could be part of our program, but we just got a program in 2014. So was it 2014? It was 2014. Thank you, Kimber. What were you doing before that? Where were you going? So one of the things that I am incredibly passionate about is, as we have legalization, helping legacy producers who choose to legitimize and scale their businesses, making sure that they have pathways to do that. That's very, very important to me. I love the phrase legacy to legal. And I listen, and a lot people always make legacy seem like it's guys or men. Nope. There's a lot of women that we need to give our props to. So, last but not least, is Kimber. Tell us what brought you here, what keeps you here.
I always laugh about this because I'm so open about my consumption and the way I use cannabis to consume. But I grew up in the 80s, so I did not have a very open relationship with cannabis. I hated something and I judged people for consuming something that I did not understand, because I was just willing to take a line that was fed to me without asking any questions. In 2002, I was 27, 28 years old, and I went from being perfectly healthy to sitting with a myriad of doctors and wondering if I was actually going to see another year. My body just started failing and no one knew why. 7 months later, 20 some odd specialists later, I found my way to a doctor at the Mayo Clinic who was able to identify that I had a rare autoimmune condition that normally was predominant in men. It had a really weird name that I still don't say properly: hypercontoplemnic urticarial vasculitis syndrome, which basically means painful chronic hives, which, if you've ever had an allergic reaction and you've ever had hives, yes, very painful. My condition lives in the walls of my red blood vessels. There are red blood vessels throughout your entire body. So I get painful chronic hives throughout my entire body. And I was so grateful to find this medical professional who could finally look at all of this information and say, I have a plan and I can help you, but you won't make it to 50 with the type of medication we're going to have to put you on, because you're going to have to microdose things that we give to people for gout and malaria. Just, this is not a healthy way to live. And now you're sharing that you actually use cannabis. What if you started to chronicle what these different strains did for you? And what if we could actually tie a story together? And I got to this doctor at the Mayo Clinic because I kept advocating for myself and saying to these other doctors, if you don't know what's wrong with me, how can you provide a medication to help me? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And I learned in that moment that doctors are people, and it's our job to advocate for what we need to live our lives well. And I did have a practitioner who did not utilize cannabis, who did not support the use of cannabis, who didn't really understand it. But what he understood was that we were able to find ways to provide relief. And together we partnered, and that got me on a path that 7 years later helped me eliminate 23 pharmaceuticals from my diet. I manage and maintain my inflammation condition solely with cannabis because that's the right decision and the right effect for me. I believe that there is a place for pharmaceuticals in the world. I believe that we should know what we're putting in our body. And I always say to people when I hear them asking questions in the dispensaries, wow, that was such a great question that you asked. I'm so impressed that you would advocate for yourself that way. Did you ask the girl at CVS all of those questions when you picked up your bag of pills? Just asking, because you should be. So I'm the mother of a child with autism, with epilepsy. My son takes pharmaceuticals. I am very open about that. I have my son on Keppra. It is an anti-seizure medication. He's a nonverbal child with autism. I am not a doctor. I have no medical degree. I'm not a pharmacist. I'm not a pharm tech. I have a lot of experience with cannabis, and in Long Island, I've kind of become known as a cannabinoid coach, that I can help you use a myriad of cannabinoids to create balance in your world. But I believe that everybody should make their own independent choice for what works best for them. So for me and my story with my son, my goal is that utilizing cannabis in addition to pharmaceuticals will help me from having to increase his medication. Perhaps I'll get to a point where he hits puberty and I'll be able to even lessen the amount of pharmaceutical so that one day he can be completely plant-based. But I like knowing that when we advocate and we have really honest conversations with doctors, we can spark change. My son sees some of the top specialists for autoimmune conditions, for epilepsy, for sleep disorder, for autism. And I tell Tanya all the time, I cannot believe the hospital that I just came out of and they asked me if my son smokes. And I'm like, no, I just let him pull a bong stem. And I'm like, seriously, do you not realize that it's one plant with a myriad of options? You can eat pasta. And if you're on Weight Watchers, a cup of fusilli and a cup of pastina, they're both pasta with caloric content, but the way they feed and fuel your body is different. One plant, a myriad of options. So yes, inhalation's great, oral consumption's great, sublingual consumption's great, depending what you're looking to work on. And what keeps me here is the fact that there are so many people who just are unaware that this option is here, that it's safe, and it's a dialogue to have. And I always, kind of joke and say, oh my gosh, how many times am I going to have to teach people about CBD? And it just kind of reminds us that we're the smaller part of the spectrum. We are the vocal advocates. We are the people who have learned to utilize the plant. And now it's our responsibility to keep having that conversation until everybody's aware.
Kimber, thank you so much for sharing your story, for being you. Kimber's the one person that I know that, listen, we're gonna talk about it, right? Strains, like for certain people, strains hit them differently. Not me. Kimber would be like, well, this made me feel like this, and this made me feel, I'm like, God, you're amazing. Like, that's why like learning cannabinoids are so important to her, because she really feels the effects of certain things. And I love that. You said a couple of things that I wanted to say. Doctors. Doctors are interesting. And let's be honest, doctors don't know everything. The medical industry is learning cannabis sometimes at a speed slower than we are. And it's really important that we advocate for ourselves, that we advocate for our patients, that we advocate for our community. Honestly, like I've had many conversations where I've had to call like a cannabis doctor to call the traditional doctor so they could talk, because they speak doctor speak and one needs one to, but those are things that we have to do. Like as entrepreneurs, as business leaders, as industry leaders, which I consider everyone here an industry leader, we are educators, we are advocates, and we have to be, because we know that the translation of a lot of the stuff we say is really miscommunicated. So it's so important that we do what we do and that we support each other. And another thing you said about really like the choices that we make with our bodies are our choices. If you choose to, like when my uncle who got me into this industry, my uncle had cancer, he chose to go the traditional route and supplement it with cannabis. And in that moment, I'm like, just go with cannabis. But I couldn't. Who am I? He had to make the choice for himself, and I had to support him as his niece. And I think he made the best choice for himself because it was his choice and he could get behind it. And I try my best to do that in everything. It's the individual's choice, and it is my job to support it. And I appreciate. Thank you so much for sharing your story. So I wanted to just say a little bit because I wanted to kind of plug the Cannadiva a little bit while I'm here. So if you don't follow us, you should. The Cannadiva is a virtual community. Right now, we live on Instagram. And right now, what we're doing is telling everybody about all the other events. We are really like a shout out company. We let everybody know what events are happening, when new products are launched, when new businesses come up. What we really want to do in the new year is transfer our community off of Instagram because they don't love cannabis, unfortunately, and put us in a place where we have a lot more freedom. I've already sourced the place for us. We should be launching in the middle of January, where we'll have the ability to not be monitored the way that Facebook wants to monitor groups, that we'll actually be able to be engaged and do events in person and in the platform. And I'm really excited because realistically, the Cannadiva community is not like Women Grow, but it is part of Women Grow. It's not part of, but Women Grow adjacent in that it's women led and women focused. I don't really care who, if you don't have to be an entrepreneur or a business leader, a lot of our community are just moms, women that love the plant and really want to fight against the stigma. So part of our community are educators, just women who really want to find a group of women like them. Honestly, sometimes in Women Grow, there'd be women there that had no desire to start a business, none. But when they walked into that room and they knew that all of these women love the plant, were consumers of the plant, they just found their people. They found their community. So from educators to moms to just people that want to really fight against stigma. So follow the Cannadiva as we start to transition into our new location, which will be still on Instagram, but where we have a lot more control and a lot more engagement, and we can really do some cool stuff without like people hovering over us and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for that. So as we wrap up, I'm going to go in order. So I'm going to start. I don't know if you see the screen the way I see it. I'm going to start with Essie, then Sarah. Give me like a tidbit that you would tell the next generation of leaders. What would you say to the person who's sitting home saying, I really want to get into the cannabis industry, give me some good words of encouragement. And I want to start with Essie. You're muted, Mama.
Yes, all right. Okay. I would say a good words of encouragement is you have to have the passion for plant medicine. You shouldn't join the cannabis industry because you hear it's $1 billion industry. If you don't have passion and understanding, then I don't feel like you're going to make it far. You have to be passionate about it. And if you want to be in the cannabis industry, understand that you're providing a medicinal benefits for people, not just a benefit for people to get high.
Thank you so much. Okay, now let's bring up Sarah. What would be your words of wisdom to the next generation of leaders?
I would say that you can do it. And one of the ways that will help is if you collaborate, use your network, work together, get creative, and it will do wonders, I think. I hope. At least that's what I'm betting. I'm betting big on collaboration.
It's worked for you, right? It's worked for you.
So far, so good.
Okay, Emily?
Sarah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I think that this industry just touches on so many different parts. There's so many different parts of the industry, from the medical side. I mean, we just look at the businesses that are on here today, and I think one of the things that we have at Leafwell that we're very proud of is the diversity within the company. We have people. We have our team spans over 3 countries. We have people from Florida all the way to Hawaii, and I think it's that diversity and those different perspectives that's really a strength for the company. And so collaboration is so important in this industry, particularly because of that. So yeah, Sarah, I hope you don't mind me just adding to that, but I completely agree. I'd say collaborate and go out there and learn, get exposure to as many different parts of the industry as you can, because I think that is a strength if you have that exposure.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to bring up Kimber.
The perfect time is now. Don't wait for someone to invite you, just show up. Most of us have shared our story. We all showed up at a community event. Outside of Amber's product, which I can't wait to be able to utilize when I can home grow as a New York State patient, I have utilized every one of the different products up here. Sarah, I just got my Black Friday special in the mail. I'm a blunt person, but people always have this idea that you have to be perfect. I come from consumer products and retail development, and you would never put a product into the market until you had your brand position done and you had your marketing analysis. And with cannabis, you just need to show up and let your passion shine. I've had 5 different packaging reiterations, and I still keep evolving, because if I were waiting for it to be that perfect fit, I still wouldn't have gotten to market. And I've never done anything like this. In every other industry, I always have to be so buttoned up and know what that plan is. But with cannabis, if you have that plant passion and you feel that you can build a different mousetrap, and even if you're not sure, just show up. The time is now. We're all going to welcome you. We're all going to want to collaborate with you if that passion is there.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to bring up Ambra.
Hi. Okay, so I want to say there are 3 things that you should know and that they should do in cannabis, and one is to respect and protect the legacy market, because without the legacy market there would be no market. And the other thing is to learn how to point and pivot in this business, learn how to think creatively, because shit is going to go wrong. And then the final thing that I would say is grow the plant. When you grow the plant, you learn how resilient it is. You learn how many things you can use in this plant and what you can do with the plant, and it'll teach you life lessons in it. So,
thank you so much. That is so true. Miriam?
Well, it's hard to I kind of want to piggyback on what everyone said, but I'm just gonna I have to say, like, what Essie started with, passion and respect the medicine. You have to be authentic in this space. There's a lot of hustlers in this space. You know, you have to. I mean, this is the legacy market, so people are out here for a lot of different reasons. Some people are here for the money. And be authentic, be real, but be passionate about whatever it is that you choose to do. Don't just do this for the money, because there's a lot of people doing this just for the money, and you can tell who they are. And none of them are the ones here. So, like, be authentic, be passionate about what you do, and you have to educate. You know, you cannot be in this space and not break stigma and educate and share what you know, to reverse all the wrongs that need to be righted for many, many years. So be authentic, be real, breathe, exhale, use your products, because you are going to have to pivot, and this ain't easy, but it's fun.
And Ray, wrap us up.
Okay, so to wrap us up, I mean, everybody, again, touched on so many different things that we definitely need to succeed in this industry. And just to add to it is, yes, passion. Please have all of the passion for what you are doing. Touch bases on each area, and then find the one that works for you, the one where you can produce the most change in. Because we can touch every area, we can try every different thing, but which area is going to be the one that you succeed in? Is going to be the one that you can bring the message full force in. You know, find that one that works for you, because that's where the passion comes in, and that's the way that you'll be able to change minds and continue that conversation and to really push this industry forward.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As I wrap up with all these amazing ladies, I will give my little tidbit of information. What I always say to people in entering this space is don't think that you always have to be a plant touching entity. As you see, we have women here that do touch the plant and some that do not. Depending on your background or how you choose to show up here, you don't necessarily have to be a plant touching industry. If you're an accountant, we need accountants, especially with 280E. If you are a designer, if Miriam came from design, so just come in. We need more women in this space. So don't hesitate to come in and try. You will learn as you get here, but you will never know everything. This industry is designed to like be in dog years. Like I'm 108 years old. I've been in here that long. It is literally like they change stuff, laws change. You learn new things. We don't even know anything about the plant. You know what I mean? Compared to what there is to know. We don't know anything. There's so much that we're going to learn. So be open, be willing to learn, be willing to collaborate. It's the essence of Women Grow. Like I said, that's how I met all of the women on this stage today. As we close out, because we're about to close out, I just wanted to thank Ray from UniWe. I wanted to thank Essie from Eighth Flower. I wanted to thank Emily from Leafwell, Kimber from Chime and Chill, Sarah from Cannabis, Ambra from Amagram Farms or Amagram Nutrient Company, and Miriam from Body Care Herbas. Thank you, ladies, so much. Visit their platforms, their web pages, their Instagram, learn about them, have them on a panel, because these are educators. They can literally come to your events and drop some serious science, and you need that. So hit up these ladies. That is how we grow. That is how we make this community representative of the plant, which is female. This industry needs to be women-led, the same way the plant is female. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. I really appreciate your showing up. Our ladies, thank you so much. And we are out. Thank you so much. Have a great one. Oh, wait. One more thing. We are going to be back again on Monday. The ladies from Tokativity, my dear friends Lisa and Sam, they're going to take over the Women Grow platform on Monday the 13th. They're going to share their the brands that they love the most. So we are just bringing you women-led brands. Your shopping list should be filled of nothing but products from women-led brands. I don't want to hear anything about it. No, I'm kidding. Women and diverse-led brands. Make sure your shopping list has a bunch of those. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great one.